Grandma's like, when you inherit my debt, that'll help you pay it off. Thanks, Grandma. Thanks, Grandma. Have you played? No, I did not play Camazotz on PTS.
Enemy missing. Okay.
A negatory. Ow.
You're mine now.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, shucks. How did I manage that one? All right. Uh-huh. Interesting. God, HEBO cooldowns, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. First 2 turkey sandwiches are down the tube. Down the tube. Oh, that was rude. Okay. I forgot to mute everybody. Okay. Turkey's delicious, son. To be fair, I'm a fan of all the meats. I try not to judge meats too harshly. You know? Whether you be chicken or turkey or ham or... You know, I don't want a pork. Oh, I would hate to judge, you know? I just want to, you know, enjoy the deliciousness. It's even blander than chicken breast. You gotta get good turkey, dude. You gotta get good turkey. Unironically, this is not me joking. You know who actually has great turkeys that you should buy from? Remember this for next year. Remember Incon's statement right now. Popeyes sells turkeys that they season up for you and everything with all of their stuff, and they actually are really, really good. They're really, really good. Just keep in mind that you can buy like whole turkeys from Popeyes. You have to cook it yourself and all that, but you can buy whole turkeys from Popeyes around Thanksgiving. I don't know if you can do it for Christmas too, but you can do this. It's delicious. So they have very, very delicious turkeys. Very, very delicious. Oh, very good.
An enemy has been
Very good.
slain. Masterful.
All right, let's get this Bancrofts going, and then it's time. Once Bancrofts is online, that's when you know. That's when you know it's about to get real. All right.
Be right back.
About to get real.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm not gonna lie, I always thought Meatloaf was gonna be gross. Like, I grew up like on the West Coast as a kid, so like I literally just never ate meatloaf. It's just not a thing you eat on the West Coast. And then one day my wife made me meatloaf, and I was like, wait a second, you're telling me that meatloaf is basically like a giant meatball? She's like, yeah, basically. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Why didn't nobody tell me this? Why does meatloaf get such a bad rap? It's like a delicious meatball. It's so good. It's so good. I'm like, what? This is amazing. Why wouldn't I want to eat this?
Enemies incoming.
Okay.
This is my jam, dude. Your mom made the hell out of it. Oh man, the lady always puts this delicious, spicy, sugary. She makes like this. A lot of people put like ketchup on meatloaf, but ketchup sucks. So she makes this like super nice, like sugary, spicy, tomato-based sauce that she puts on it, so it's kind of like the concept of having ketchup without actually having to utilize garbage ketchup. Oh, so good. Let's go, Thana. Let's go, baby. I got you. I got you. Feels good. Feels good. Nice. Nice. But yeah, am a fan of Meatloaf. Am a fan. Can't believe in my head. I think Meatloaf gets like a bad rap from like TV shows and movies. Like I feel like Meatloaf became like a meme of like teenage shows being like, oh boy, mom and dad made meatloaf. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, like I don't know. Maybe like meatloaf, there is like garbage meatloaf out there, but I've really only ever had my wife's meatloaf, and it was delicious. And now that sounds like a sexual innuendo, but it's not. Innuendo. What?
Enemy spotted. Your middle tower is under attack.
What about the Sloppy Joe? Sloppy Joes are absolutely disgustingly good. And I use the phrase disgustingly good because they are disgusting. And good, but disgusting. There's no other phrase to describe a Sloppy Joe.
Ultimate is ready.
Fun fact, you eat a Sloppy Joe one time and you actually lose 7 years off your life. Isn't that crazy? If you look at it, you actually lose a month. Just by looking at it. You think about it, that's a day. Nice try, Sylvie. Nice try. They are delicious, though. Very good. Very good. I feel like the Sloppy Joe was definitely a food, too, that, like, non-Americans would look at and be like, so, this is what America's up to nowadays. Cool, cool, cool. Like, I feel like it's definitely like a, oh man, they're farther gone than I thought they were. I thought maybe there was some hope for them, but I guess not. I guess we passed the point of no return. How was my Thanksgiving? It was great, Crimson. It was great. Sloppy Joes are the trailer parks of ground beef foods. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Most definitely.
Enemy missing.
This Neath is playing so far back. She just doesn't want any, dude. Chili is just Sloppy Joes for adults. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in a way. They're a little different, but I see what you're getting at. I definitely see where you're going.
I will not say no to more firepower.
That's true, Ray. That's true.
America to the rescue. That's too bad. An enemy has been slain.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So are Sloppy Joes basically depressed burgers or what? Kind of. Kind of. It's like if a burger like embraced the greasiness, and instead of like having any like redeeming vegetables on it, you just like slathered it in mayonnaise and like barbecue sauce and other things to just make it real sloppy. The word sloppy here is not used lightly. They are sloppy. It's like a watered down burger. Yeah. It's like a burger if a burger were just soaking wet.
Is under attack. This place is unprepared for what's next.
Oh man, the more you think about it, the funnier it gets. Like, it actually gets funnier the more you think about a sloppy. Like, a sloppy Joe is actually a ridiculous food. Food is even a strong word. Concoction might be better. You know? You can't eat a sloppy Joe other than biting in and accepting your fate. Yeah, you ain't never gonna see a politician eating a sloppy Joe. It's never gonna happen. You take one bite and you become the sloppy Joe.
Looky here. Enemy ultimate down.
Yeah, it's like a burger you can eat with a spoon. Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
Careful, careful. Enemy spotted.
That sentence is so wrong. All the non-Americans are like, this sounds horrible. How could this possibly be good? All the Americans like, yep, sounds delicious. Give me 3. Yep. Just like Mama used to make them. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Literally delicious. Oh, I haven't. Oh, yeah. Every once in a while, the wife will make one.
Your team has destroyed us.
Every once in a while. I think twice a year, the wife will make sloppy joes. Mostly because if you eat sloppy joes more than twice a year, you know, you won't have that many left. But every once in a while, she'll be like, is it time? Is it time for a sloppy joe? And I'm like, oh my God, can it be? Can it be, please? And then after I'm done eating it, I'm like, I need to take a bath. All-time favorite food to this day is spaghetti and meatballs. Changed my mind. My sister won't eat spaghetti and meatballs. Fun fact. We grew up eating so many spaghetti and meatballs that my sister refuses to eat them anymore. My household, there was a lot of spaghetti and meatballs growing up. Just an absolutely absurd amount of spaghetti and meatballs. So my sister has officially decided, now that she like lives on her own and is her own, you know, adult human, that she will not eat any more spaghetti and meatballs. I don't have that same aversion. I'll eat spaghetti and meatballs every day, but that's just because you give me any form of pasta with any form of meat and I'm going to love it. I won't question it. But she won't eat it anymore. My little brother will eat spaghetti and meatballs, but he would prefer not to as well, which is kind of funny. Like, they got so turned off from spaghetti and meatballs from eating it so much. My brother will still eat it, but he oh, that's not, whoa. Oh, I forgot, what did I do? I wasn't paying attention. I meant to go get Doomorb. I guess I'm gonna go get it late now. So, just makes me laugh. I think by the time the spaghetti and meatballs dinner meta was created in my household, I think I was probably like had left for college before it got real bad, and then I think the spaghetti and meatballs took over. So I never grew up to the same aversion. I very rarely eat spaghetti and meatballs though. Nothing wrong with spaghetti and meatballs. It's just basic, you know? And I think sometimes, so here's the deal. I love food, right? We talk about food a lot on this channel, right? We talk about Taco Bell. We talk about fancy food. We talk about all sorts of foods. You know why? Because food's amazing, and it's across all cultures, and you have to eat it to survive. So everybody here eats food. It's something that we share. It's something that we share. So here's the deal. A food being simple
Enemies have returned to base.
doesn't mean that it's bad or good. It just means that it's simple. A food being complicated doesn't mean that it's bad or good. It just means that it's complicated. You know? I think sometimes I get a little bit lost in translation. I think sometimes people, on both ends, sometimes I think people go, well, if it's fancier, it's better. And I think on the flip side, you know, there's also like a fight back of like, oh, I'm just a simple one. I just want my nice, simple food. Nothing complicated now, you know? And I think that both of those philosophies are kind of like, oh, unfortunate.
I'm hardening. Yo, I cannot take back.
Because I think in both regards, if you try to limit your food to either like high-end food, or if you try to limit your food to just like only what mama could make, I think either way you're losing out on a ton of like culinary experiences, you know? I don't think you should let how hard a food is to make, or how easy it is to make, or how hard or how expensive a food is, or how cheap it is, make you think that it's good or bad. Now, you might not be able to afford expensive food, and that's fine, and that's different. But just because something is expensive or cheap shouldn't inherently, with food in particular, other things I think it's a little bit more apparent, but with food in particular, shouldn't necessarily be indicative to you of whether or not it's good or bad. You know? You can enjoy and love Taco Bell with all your heart, and also go to a 3 Michelin starred restaurant and be served the craziest food and still like it just as much. You know, like you can have both. And I think people should limit themselves less with food. Be more open to trying things, because you never know. You never know. A good example from like me from a food perspective is I really hate beets. I think beets are horrible. I think they're disgusting, and I hate them. And I went to a very fancy restaurant. It was the fanciest restaurant I'd ever been to, Alenia in Chicago. And when I went there, one of the things that they served had a beet on the side. This very small, very beautiful, perfect beet. And my wife also hates beets. And we looked at each other, and we were eating the rest of the food, and it was delicious. And we looked at the beet, and we were like, all right, let's do this. And so we put our fork into the beet. We gave it a little dink, a little here we go. We put it into our mouth, and both of us went, what? Oh God! Oh my God, it's so beety. Oh God, it's so bad. And we grabbed some water and we swallowed it, and we're like, wow, we really won't ever like beets. We will never. I hate beets. You know, and I had the best beet in the entire world, and I absolutely hated it. And now I know in my heart of hearts that at least for at this point in my life, I hate beets. On the flip side, I don't really like tomatoes. I've never liked tomatoes. I just don't. I think maybe them being a kind of like a fungus kind of freaks me out a little bit. I don't know. I've never really liked tomatoes. I mean, so what? Did I say tomatoes? I meant mushrooms. Did I say tomatoes? I meant mushrooms. I don't really like mushrooms. I think I switched over to tomatoes in accident. I don't like mushrooms. I meant to say mushrooms. I went to a place one time, man, and they had some lion's mane mushrooms. Lion's mane mushrooms. And they were in a, they were served with a steak, and they were in a, or not even steak, it was served with venison, actually. It was venison and lion's mane mushrooms in a delicious glaze. In a delicious glaze. And I was like, all right, well, here goes the mushroom into my mouth. And I was like, wait, what? This mushroom is delicious. What? This is amazing. I ate all of them. I said, what the heck? Do I like mushrooms? As it turns out, I don't like portobello mushrooms. I don't. Not a fan of the portobello mushroom. But other mushrooms I actually like. Now I know. Now I know, because I didn't limit myself to being like, oh, it's a mushroom, I don't like mushrooms. I was like, oh, I'll try it. All of a sudden I liked it. What the heck? Okay. As it turns out, I'm just pickier about the type of mushroom. You know? You don't know until you try. You don't know until you try. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself in life, you know? Life is short. Try things. Try things. You know what I'm saying? Don't. I think it's particularly hard on the youngins. On the youngins in the chat, you know? For those of you out there that are like 13, 14, 15, I get it. I was a picky eater too. I ate for a significant portion of my life. I ate basically burritos, chicken nuggets, corn dogs, pizza, cheese sticks. Like,
Another patriot has fallen.
I was a very, 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 very picky eater. I'm still not the world's most open eater. I'm not.
Your team has destroyed a
I'm still, like, compared to my wife, I'm a boring eater. Very much so compared to my wife. But I think that I've gotten to a point in my life where just because I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to like something doesn't mean I don't try it. Because even if 1 out of 100 things you end up liking, that's still something new to you that you wouldn't have eaten, that you wouldn't have got to enjoy if you didn't try it, you know? So I think there's nothing wrong with being like, oh, I haven't had this in a while or ever. I'm going to try it. I don't think I'm going to like it because it's kind of like this and I don't like that. You never know. You just never know. Don't close yourself off. Try things. And if you don't like it, that's fine and dandy. But I think you shouldn't say to yourself, I'm not going to like this, so I'm not going to try it. Because if you don't try it, you don't actually know that you don't like it. You just think that you don't like it. You should try my yams sandwich. You shut your lying mouth. How do I feel about green bean casserole? Oh, dude. My sister brought green bean casserole to Thanksgiving. As it turns out, she's got so many green beans, ladies and gentlemen. Just so many green beans. I don't know where she gets them all from. Could be anything. Could be anyone. She's bringing green bean casserole to every family event for the rest of her life. She used all the green beans. Oh, Mick. Oh, my sweet, sweet summer child. She used maybe 4% of her total green bean capacity. The amount of green beans that she has is truly, truly amazing. She literally has so many green beans. I have issues. She easily has maybe upwards. If you were to like count them strictly and like a small can, like volume amount, probably over 100 cans right now of green beans. Realistically, probably over 100 cans. Thank you, Pork Chop, for 30 months, friend. When I told you that the great green bean pranks were happening, it was the year of the great green bean prank. I wasn't kidding. I'm committed. I'm committed. Thank you, TJK, man. Thank you for your support. Parsnips are very interesting. My wife loves... Oh my god, I can't believe that Nathan died. My wife loves the parsnip with all of her heart. I just poured water all over myself. Literally all over myself. Got a little bit too excited on that one. That was fun. Alright, well, now I'm just soaking wet, I guess. Guess I'm just glad to see y'all.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I don't mind parsnip at all. I don't mind parsnip. My wife like loves the parsnip. Yeah, I have nothing against it. Parsnips are great. Parsnips are great. Oh man, I really soaked myself. Holy crap, I'm like drenched, dude. Like actually drenched.
Tower has been destroyed.
Ugh. You've been seeing a lot of Sylvanas play lately? Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea, man. At the end of the day, Warriors, Assassins are, in my heart, are still the way to go. As far as Guardians go, I mean, Sylvanas has really good early game clear, so like at least that checks out in terms of snowballing. You know?
Retreat! Is it? Blow lava! Blow! Time to save for tonight.
I tried. I couldn't reach. But I am going to continue to go this way and look for him.
Attack!
Whatever. He's out underneath. Okay. You could go for a big greasy calzone right now with all this food talk. I don't know. I just love food, man. And I think, I don't know. I wish I could go back and just like tell younger me to just try things. That's what I wish. So that's what I'm telling the youngins out there. Just try. It may be the older folks. Just don't be afraid to try things. What's the worst thing that happens? You don't like it and you spit it out? Or you're at a restaurant, so you do that nice thing where you go, and you take a sip of your water and you use your water to swallow that food like a pill? We've been there. We've been there. We've done it. It's okay. You can admit to it. It's okay. You just go, oh, I guess I don't like that. Yes, I don't like it.
We need wards.
Your coworker had a plate of chicken feet for lunch?
Okay.
I think stuff like that, stuff like animal body parts that maybe you wouldn't normally eat. I think a lot of that stuff becomes, I mean, a lot of it's cultural, you know? But also a lot of it is like not knowing how to cook it because you were never around it, right? Like things like chicken gizzards and like the insides and like organs of animals are actually pretty popular in the South because the South was so poor, you know? I mean, the South still is poor to this day, but food comes from a lot of necessity, you know? And so, like, sometimes you have, like, a lot of places had to eat different things. But if you don't know how to, like, cook chicken liver, of course it's gonna be, like, horrible. But if you know how to, like, make things good, man, all of a sudden it's way different. I had really, really, really good, sweetbread. I had really good sweetbread at a restaurant one time. I had chicken. It was oh my god! It was basically chicken taco sweetbread, which was sweet, and it was delicious. And like, could I have cooked that and made it delicious? No, I couldn't have. But because there was like a chef that knew what he was doing, he could use those parts, you know, and make them delicious. And make sure they didn't go to waste.
I got your back, brother.
No, not sweet bread is not bread, Mick. Sweet bread is pancreas? Anybody have a correct on me? Pancreas? Something like that? Anybody got a hot correction on me? I think it's pancreas. It's cow pancreas. Yeah, I was right. Okay, there we go. Yay. There we go. This is gonna hurt. Ah, I was just hoping to get un-CC'd long enough to actually do something. But like, could like I cook up cow pancreas and have it be delicious? No. Was it literally amazing? Dude, it was amazing. It was a sweetbread taco with a white mole on it. It was so good. You know? So, some things you shouldn't ask what it is before trying it. That's also true. That's also true. I mean, there really is a mental block to food, and it's culturally, you know? It's all cultural. You know, if you've never eaten insects before, the idea of eating an insect might gross you out. If cows are an important animal in your culture, you know, eating a cow might totally freak you out. You know, a great example is I had a friend in high school called Prudvi. And Prudvi grew up very, very, even though they were in the States, into Indian culture and everything. That's the way he grew up. And so while he personally wasn't very religious, he wasn't like religiously against eating cows. His parents were, because his parents were first generation immigrants. He himself wasn't particularly religious, so he didn't have like that feels of like anti-cow. But the idea of eating cow like made him want to vomit because he never grew up eating it. Like cow just seemed gross to him. Because he just never grew up eating any cow, because his parents obviously didn't serve him cow because they were very, very Hindu. As the same point as you might think that, you know, eating a grasshopper is really gross, but a culture that grows up eating insects is like, oh yeah, it's like a little snack. You eat a grasshopper. My sister loves eating insects. My sister loves eating bugs. Loves it. They're low calorie, high protein. She loves them. They got that crunch.